The last one, Los Angeles Rams coming to town facing the Cincinnati Bengals. I wonder if we can get Zach on the show Monday morning or something. Do you think we can sneak him over here?
It sounds unlikely, but give it a shot.
Very unlikely. He can't even get me tickets to the game. Yeah. He's useless. Anyway, just joking around. Rams Bengals, Monday Night Football. Joe Burrow, calf watch is on here, or there in Cincinnati, but Bengals favored by 2.5. What are you looking for in this one?
Yeah, I mean, man, they can't play him, right? Like, if he tweaked the calf that he's been dealing with for 6 weeks, you can't put him back in the lineup right away. I wouldn't have thought. So,
what does a week of rest? Are we going to have a little injury analysis on the show tomorrow?
Maybe, yeah. Maybe Joe Burrow is the one to talk about.
My question is, what does 1 week of rest do? What does 2 weeks of rest do? Because he rested for 6 weeks in training camp, and 2 weeks into the season, it hurt again.
Right,
it's an issue.
But it seemed like, I mean, that with a soft tissue injury, that's like you just tweaked it again, right? But the only thing for it is rest. Like, I don't think you can just strap it up and get back out there. There's something wrong with it. Like, you need to wait until it's healed.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know if we're going to see Joe Burrow this week.
That's what I'm saying.
If we do see Joe Burrow, they bounced back from 0-2 last year. Got to get Jamar Chase involved. It feels, I can't tell. I don't know what we've seen from Cincinnati the first 2 weeks. Did we see an offense that has been notably more conservative because of Burrow's calf, and they're trying to baby him a little bit? Because it's very horizontal. It's very safe. They're not as explosive, not even close, as what they're capable of. Plus, Burrow's not playing well on top of that, right? They played a rain game. He's missing throws left and right, but he wasn't great. He was okay last week. It was better. But we haven't seen a good offense through 2 weeks. So even if Burrow's back out there, are they going to, start taking some chances, throwing the ball down the field, getting back to what they were previously?
Yeah, no, it's a big question. I don't know. I don't feel like he can possibly play, which brings you back to the Jake Browning offense, and that's just a whole different world, and it's not a particularly pleasant world. So my assumption for Cincinnati at the moment is Burrow is not going to be playing in this game. If he is, though, you're right. Like, he needs to just put the ball in the air and let those guys go make some plays, which, should be doable against this Rams defense. To me, though, the more interesting side is the other side of the ball. Matthew Stafford is absolutely dealing at the moment. The Bengals defense, which is usually one of the better units in the league under Lou Anarumo, has not been as good as we expected it to be, or it has been in the past. Puka Nacua is setting records for production in his first couple of starts from any player ever, and it's kind of legit. Like, you watch his tape, he's good. He's not doing anything particularly special, but the thing that leaps out is his yards after the catch and his yards after contact. His yards after contact leads all NFL wide receivers. His yards after the catch, I think, is second. But every single play, he's catching a little hitch, turning upfield quickly, and then dragging somebody for 3 more yards. Like, every play, he's dragging extra yards after contact. And even when Cooper Kupp comes back into this lineup, I think they coexist well. I think he's a real find for them.
Oh, yeah. Puka's been awesome, man. I mean, and you mentioned Stafford. I mean, I don't know how good the offensive line is going to be for the majority of the season. I think it's a fragile Rams team in a different way than it was a couple of years ago. We called them fragile because of stars and scrubs. I think they're a little fragile because they're more dependent on Stafford now than they were in the Super Bowl year. I mean, he was awesome at various points in the Super Bowl year, but he also had some lulls where he wasn't great and they were still winning games because they had other talent. But now it's just a lot on Stafford's shoulders, and in getting Puka involved and Tyler Higbee at tight end, and they just traded Cam Akers, so it's Kyron Williams back there, and that's their run game. But it's Stafford's team, man, like, for real. And having him have to kind of deal every single week, and then defensively, right? I mean, watching the youth movement, Kobe Turner getting some pressure next to Aaron Donald up there, and it's fun, man. They're a fun team, and I think the Rams are going to be more competitive, I think, than I anticipated. But if Stafford has a bad game, I think they're cooked, right? Other quarterbacks, you might be able to overcome it with other parts of the roster. They're cooked if Stafford doesn't play well. Yeah. But it's fun watching them try to carry the youngsters right now.
No, absolutely. But that, to me, is the really interesting side of the ball, is like, heading into the year, we would have expected this to be the Bengals defense giving real problems to the Rams offense. And in fact, when they joined scrimmage, before last year, that's exactly the way it went. And now Stafford's dealing, Puka Nakua's balling, Tutu Atwell looks like a real factor as well. And Anarumo and the Bengals defense has not been as good as we expected it to be. All of a sudden, the advantage is almost with the Rams again.
Can we do, so we're going to pick this game.
Yep.
Can we have it dependent on Joe Burrow playing?
Oh.
Is that allowed?
I mean, nobody's going to stop us, right?
No, we can make our own rules. So I would take Cincinnati with Burrow and Rams with Browning.
Yeah, I think that's where I'm going. I'm leaning with the Rams at the moment because I'm assuming Burrow isn't playing, but if he is, I want to change back to the Bengals.